Victor, Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
The following is the FCC prepares for a spectrum auction. Ham radio carries a message from the California rescue, and a new question pool for some hams in Canada. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2491 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
We begin this week in Washington, D.C., where the FCC has announced it is ready to return to auctioning off parts of the spectrum and to overhauling the country's emergency alert systems. Kent Peterson, KC0DJY, brings us up to date.
In the U.S., the Federal Communications Commission is preparing for two major initiatives: the return of auctioning spectrum licenses and a top-to-bottom assessment of the nation's emergency alert system. The FCC's ability to auction spectrum had expired, but it was restored by a bill signed by President Donald Trump on July 4th. The frequencies eyed for this auction are in the so-called AWS-3 band for Advanced Wireless Services. These are unused microwave frequencies that have been allocated for 5G commercial wireless. The auctions would be the first of their kind in the U.S. in 4 years. The FCC has also prioritized a system-wide re-evaluation of the nation's emergency communications technology. The emergency alert system makes use of radio and TV, while the wireless emergency alerts utilize mobile devices. The FCC is set to vote on moving ahead with this system-wide assessment at its August 7th meeting, with an eye toward pushing for upgraded technologies. This is Kent Peterson, KC0DGY.
If you took part in the IARU HF Championship on the second weekend of July, and you happened to work one of the 5 stations operating from the grounds of the Euston Estate in Suffolk, England, well, you were also part of the field test for the World Radio Sport Team Championship taking place next year. The 5 stations were on the air from actual site locations for an important training exercise, testing of the masts, antennas, and radios, and a little experimentation to prepare for next year's competition. Volunteers got a chance to practice setup of the equipment and give a thorough test of the scoreboard and the IT networking system. Despite some minor issues, the exercise was declared a success, right down to the report from the operators that there were no issues with the interference between stations, which were all running 100 watts. The organizers wrote on the WRTC website, quote, "Activity will be different next year. Hopefully 10 meters will be more cooperative, and the interest in chasing 50 real WRTC stations will be higher," end quote. A globally prominent telecommunications expert whose input helped the IARU shape use of the amateur spectrum has become a silent key. We hear about him from Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Global telecommunications governance was the speciality of David Court, EI3IO, who played a key part of the IARU Region 1 Executive Committee and a major force in such regional telecommunications organizations such as CEPT. David, who became a silent key earlier this month, infused his volunteer work with regulatory and technical expertise gained over the decades in his professional work in telecommunications policy and regulation. The IARU credits his input with helping to promote amateur access to the 6-meter band, the use of which was approved on a secondary basis in many countries during World Radio Communication Conference 19. The IARU announcement also credited David with successful defense of the amateur HF bands at times when sharing or relocation was proposed for other purposes. In 2020, David was presented with the IARU Region 1 medal. There were no further details about his death. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The man who some hams call the most recognized QSL manager in the world has become a silent key. We hear about him from Cell MB, KB3TZD.
Devoted to chasing DX within a year of getting his ham radio license in 1956, Joseph Arcure, W3HNK, soon established a niche for himself as a QSL manager for hundreds of those DX stations. According to his obituary on the DX News website, Joe was so devoted to helping manage and send QSL mailings that he soon became, quote, the most recognized QSL manager in the world. He never refused a request from any ham seeking his QSL services and often funded some of the mailings himself. Many praised him for the human touch he brought to every task, a quality that made many cherish the QSL cards they received. Joe became a silent key on Sunday, the 20th of July. According to his obituary, he confirmed 337 current DXCC countries as an operator. Over the years, he also became an enthusiastic DXpeditioner himself. In 1979, Joe was inducted into the CQ-DX Hall of Fame. The obituary noted that, quote, his legacy endures in every confirmation, every new contact, and every operator inspired by his example. Joe was 91. This is Cell MB, KB3, TZD.
The reason this next story has a happy ending is because everyone did everything right. The search and rescue team, the ham radio operators, and, perhaps most importantly, the mother and son in need of rescue in a remote section of the National Forest in California. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, takes us there.
The GPS was to have safely guided a mother to a campground with her 9-year-old son on July 11th. Instead, it mapped a route that left their cars stuck in the rugged terrain after they lost their GPS signal. Hours later, they were reported missing to the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office by a caller who had the mother's travel agenda and said the family had failed to check in as they had planned. A search and rescue team was dispatched in 4-wheel drive vehicles to the area the next day, where campers reported that they had seen the family sedan. The team soon discovered handwritten notes posted by the mother at nearby locations, indicating that the vehicle was stuck and they were stranded. The boy, meanwhile, periodically blew a whistle in 3 short bursts, an audible, universal distress call. Mother and son were found safe at their car, only a mile or so away from where the notes were posted. Because of the thick canopy of Stanislaus National Forest, the rescue team could not use cell service or the usual radio frequencies to update the command post. But one team member, a licensed ham, used his amateur radio to hit the KA6 GWY repeater in Placerville. It bears the call sign of Frank Yost, a retired El Dorado County communications supervisor who was monitoring the frequency at the time on 146.805 megahertz. He passed the call along to emergency dispatch, and the message was quickly relayed to Calaveras County. Lieutenant Greg Stark, one of the search and rescue coordinators, told Newsline everyone, including mother and son, did everything right. He said that the team was able to safely transport mother and son, extricate the car, and let the command post know that no helicopters or additional backup resources were needed. He said that one backup resource proved invaluable: ham radio. It also provided some inspiration. The lieutenant told Newsline, quote, "It enhanced our communication ability, and now it has spurred some of our other team members to look at getting their license." End quote. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the N5OZG repeater in New Orleans, Louisiana, on Sundays at 8 p.m. The questions on the basic level exam for hams in Canada have changed. Andy Morrison, K9AWM, has more details.
A team of volunteers from provinces throughout Canada is developing a new bank of questions for the Advanced Amateur Radio Certificate, according to the Radio Amateurs of Canada website. Many members of this team completed the new question pool for the basic level certificate earlier this year, and it was released in January by Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada. The questions took effect for basic examinations starting on the 15th of July, providing the first major update for that level of examination since 2013. Writing on the RAC website, Dave Goodwin, Victor Echo 3 Kilo Golf, the RAC's Regulatory Affairs Officer, said the 984 questions were developed by a committee of 20 instructors and accredited examiners, many of whom are now working on the advanced level questions. Those questions are expected to become available in 2026. This is Andy Morrison, K9AWM.
Now, here's an idea we'd like to float in your direction. British Inland Waterways on the air. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, tells us what's involved.
If you use the lakes, canals, or other waterways in Great Britain almost as much as you use your radio, now is the time to combine the two activities. Registration has begun for British Inland Waterways on the air, which takes place during the August bank holiday weekend. The organisers are encouraging early registration, hoping that radio operators will identify the days and on what modes they are operating. The event takes place on Saturday the 23rd of August to bank holiday Monday the 25th. You can operate on or near the various waterways throughout the UK. Primary bands will be 2 metres and 40 metres. If you'd like to register or see who is already on board for the weekend, visit the website in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, a team of hams from the UK will be on the air as GM0FRT/P from the Shetland Islands, IOTA number EU012, until the 28th of July and will be active in the IOTA contest. Outside of the contest, they will be using CW and single sideband on 30, 17, and 12 meters, as well as FT8 on 6 and 4 meters. QSL via Logbook of the World. Members of the Korean Amateur Radio League's HQ station, 6K OMF in Jeongbuk, are marking the 80th anniversary of liberation of Korea from Japanese rule by operating as HL80V from August 1st through to the end of the month. See QRZ.com for details. In Malaysia, members of the Terengganu DX Aries Group in West Malaysia are celebrating the 68th anniversary of independence from British rule by operating from the 1st of August through to the 30th of September using the call sign 9M1957M on CW, single sideband and FT8 modes on 80 through 10 meters. QSL direct to 9M2 RDX. Steve, ZL2KE, will be active again as E51KEE from Rarotonga, IOTA number OC013 in the South Cook Islands from the 3rd through to the 18th of August. Steve will be using CW, some single sideband on 40, 30, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters. QSL via IK2DUW direct. See QRZ.com for additional details. We also remind listeners that amateurs around the world will be on the air for International Lighthouse Lightship Weekend on August 16th through to the 17th. More than 250 lighthouse entries will be active in more than 40 countries. For a list of registered lighthouses, see the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. Our final story is about both a first and a last. The last summit in the SOTA DL Association to be activated is a first for a very determined ham in Germany. We hear about him from Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
Despite 18 years as a SOTA activator that have won him at least 2 high-ranking awards for operating in the German Alps, Diani's DD1LD had some unfinished business. This month, it stood before him, all 2,430 meters of it above sea level. The Tiefka Spitze, the single summit in the SOTA DL Association that had gone unactivated in the 20 years since SOTA DL was established in Germany. His harrowing mountain ascent on July 18th was punctuated by intense rockfall. Not unexpected, but nonetheless terrifying. As he wrote in his blog, he was compelled to ask, quote, "Why do I keep doing this to myself?" End quote. Still, he made it to the summit, where he soon logged his first QSO with his good friend Mario DJ2MX. Then came the pile-ups. Finally, he went QRT after one more QSO. another close friend, Andy, DL2DVE. With 66 in his log, he had transformed that lonely, daunting rocky outpost into a shared space among friends. Diani's, as solar activator, had turned a personal challenge into a triumph for himself and the DL Association. As he wrote in his blog, quote, "I let my feelings run free," end quote. This is Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF.
A good QSO can be like poetry. Sometimes. So, why not write a haiku about amateur radio and join the Newsline Haiku Challenge? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. We can only accept the correct haiku format, however. That is, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on the website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, the ARRL, Cord Cutters News, David Behar, K7DB, DX World, 425 DX Bulletin, the FCC, the IARU, International Lighthouse Lightship Weekend, Lieutenant Greg Stark, Calaveras County Search and Rescue, Nunsfield House Amateur Radio Group, QRZ.com, Radio World, Radio Amateurs of Canada, ShortwaveRadio.de, the Soda Reflector, Wireless Institute of Australia, WRTC 2026, Zero Retries Newsletter, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operations. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying, as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
And this has been the W8VPV Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Stay tuned. Our Monday evening VHF UHF net starts in about 10 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. W8VPV. Repeater.
Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is Frank. My call is W8EZT, but for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. This is an open, directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net controllers. Since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is greetings to all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep other members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We'll start with some announcements, then ask for check-ins from any officer or member with announcements of general interest to the club. Once that's complete, we'll start taking check-ins 5 at a time. Just give me your call. We'll log it, let you know I've heard it. Then after getting 5 calls, we'll work those 5, get another 5, and repeat until we work through the list. When things thin out, we'll go out to taking check-ins one at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call sign, repeat it phonetically, followed by your name and location. When all check-ins have been worked, we'll repeat the announcements and then close the net. We also operate an HF plus 6 band exploration net at 9:30 p.m. This evening's frequency will be on 80 meters. We'll announce the exact frequency on this repeater just before 9:30, but it'll be somewhere around 3.827 megahertz. The exact frequency will depend on the activity in QRM. Please join us if you have the privileges and equipment. Some real quick announcements here. This August meeting will be, instead of a meeting, a picnic. Our annual club picnic will be held on the second Wednesday of August. That's August 13th. We'll be out at Waterworks Park. We'll be at the Kelsey Creek shelter this year, not the Shady Bend. It's one shelter up from Shady Bend. We'll be at Kelsey Creek. We'll be starting to gather around 4 p.m. or so. Eating and dining will start about 6 o'clock. We'll have corn on the cob. We'll have pulled pork. We'll have chicken. Don't think we're going to be doing anything on the grill this year. At least that's the plans right now. It's open to all members and their guests, but please go to our webpage and sign up. We need to know how many ears of corn to have, how much food to have, and hope you'll have a real good time there. Okay, that's the only announcement other than newsletter articles are due. If you have anything, please send it to newsletter editor at cfarc.org. And other than that, do we have any announcements from members or officers of general interest to the club? Right, nothing heard then. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. Now looking for check-ins. Call signs only, please. Go ahead.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-ray Oscar.
And you, Vince, next.
8 HMS.
You, Steve, next. Could be a light net tonight. A lot of people probably have their radios disconnected due to the storm. I got Vince and Steve. Anybody else in there?
K5DMA.
On K5 was a D as in Delta Mike Go ahead, DMA, I believe.
Yes, Kilo 5 Delta Mike Alpha, just visitor check-in in the area.
Very good. Could I have a name, please?
Yep, name here is Ryan, Romeo Yankee Alpha November.
Welcome, and stand by. We'll get right back to you. Looking for more check-ins.
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Charlie, Kurt in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, you got Kurt, KE8ULC, and there's somebody else underneath the other station. Go ahead. Someone in there just barely able to break into the repeater. I'm getting a lot of noise, but you're not able to hold the machine. Is there another station trying to sign on when Kurt was in there? All right, the other station, you weren't making the repeater. If you can up your power, maybe find a higher location or a different location if you're mobile and give it another try, we'd appreciate it. And let me go ahead and we'll work through these four and see who else is out there. AC8XO, go ahead, Vince.
Good evening, Frank, and everybody on the net. AC8XO here, your newsletter editor. You took the wind out of my sails, Frank. So anybody that wants to get their newsletter articles in, please do so as soon as possible. The newsletter will be published the week before the picnic, as in the week before our meeting. Other than that, Frank, we had some rain, and I appreciate that. AC8XO, back to net.
Very good, Vince, and I will have hopefully at least two articles. This, by the way, and for general information, this is our 70th year as a club. The 2025-2026 club year is the 70th year this club has been in operation. We're going to try to have some special activities based on that, so we'll have an article about that. We're going to talk about clubhouse happenings and look at the rest of the year and see how things are going. So thanks, Vince. Appreciate all you do for the club. Next up, I've got Steve, K8HMS. Go ahead, Steve. You're breaking up there a little bit. Give it another try.
Oh boy, let me try 440.
That time was perfect.
Oh, okay, well let's do it then. Yeah, good evening to you. Thanks. Wow. 20 years. Should have stayed with the club all that time. I would have been almost December. But anyway, just thanks for doing what you do, and if we don't see you before, we'll see you at the picnic. W8VPV, K8HMS.
Very good, Steve. Sometimes you were in there solid, full quieting, and other times your signal would just drop right out. I don't know if you were moving around or maybe just moving around in a chair and the antenna of the radio is different, but we appreciate your long-term support of the club and certainly look forward to seeing you at the picnic. Again, anybody that's planning on attending the picnic, make sure you go to the website and sign up for it. We ask everybody to bring some kind of a side dish, and we will have, of course, the main dishes, pop water, and hopefully a good time. And you'll probably see some radio equipment out there, too. I'm going to see if maybe I can get a mag loop antenna out there, and maybe we'll get some operation there. So, all right, next up is our visitor, K5 DMA Ryan. Go ahead, sir, and welcome.
Yes, K5DMA here. I'm just visiting the area and programmed some repeaters. Heard earlier the announcement message, so I figured I'd check in. So, good to talk to all of y'all guys, and thanks for taking me. I'm from my EM10 grid square. Back to you.
Very good, Ryan. The repeater dropped out when you gave your location where you were from. Give that to us once more again, please.
Okay. The Echo Mike 10. Okay,
I got the Echo Mike 10 as your grid square. Once again, it broke up. Try the city or state once more, whatever that other data was.
Sure, it's Brenham, Texas. Brenham is the city.
Very good, Brenham, Texas. Welcome to the area, and hope you're having a good time while you're up here. Thanks for checking in, Ryan. Do appreciate it. KE8ULC. Next up is Kurt. Go ahead, Kurt. And again, thank you for all the work you did at the clubhouse last week.
Yes, this is KE8ULC. I wanted to thank everybody that was present at the clubhouse, putting in some grounding rods and grounding wires. And Frank, when you're ready to work on that again, just give me a holler. And we still have an antenna to put up, a 2-meter antenna for the repeater. So let me know when you want to do that, and we'll take a shot at it. My August is starting to fill up, so I think you said a Sunday morning at one point. So just let me know. I'll be there. Back to you at W8VP. This was KE8ULC.
Very good, Kurt. I believe what Thomas said, it'll probably be at the end of the month of August. He said his August was getting pretty full, so I'd say maybe see if you can save a Wednesday opening near the end of August, and we'll see what we can put together there. That's the latest information I have right now. Thomas is, of course, the radio officer, and he's going to set the pace there. All right, thanks, Kurt. Appreciate it, and I certainly will let you know when we get back and do some more of the clubhouse. They may put in the ground cover, and I bought some red lava rocks to fill that window well, so the plants don't grow in there. And I hope to get the rest of the lightning arresters in this week, and we'll check and see if the city's going to get those windows replaced or not, because that's going to be, I think, the driving force for everything else. Appreciate it, Kurt. All right, this is the W8VPV, Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, Monday night, VHF, UHF net. My name is Frank. We're looking for more check-ins, 5 in a row if we can get them.
Foxtrot 8, Delta Golf Delta, Bill in Macedonia.
Bill, welcome. Another check-in, please.
W3X.
Foxtrot 8, Echo Papa Bravo, Dan in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, I got W03X and Echo Papa Bravo station. Go ahead again.
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Echo Papa Bravo, Dan in Cuyahoga Falls.
All right, was that Stan or Dan? Stan with an S or Dan with a D?
Dan with a D.
Very good, Dan. We'll get right back to you then. Another check-in?
W3X, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
I got you in there, John. Another check-in?
Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Lima Alpha, Leo in Stowe. No traffic, in and out.
All right, Leo, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Another check-in? We'll work the 3 we have here. We'll probably start taking them one at a time then. KF8DGG, Bill, go ahead.
Good evening, Frank. Everybody on the net. Not too much going on. Had a thunderstorm blow through here. Other than that, not too much going on. Had a little problem with my mobile antenna. The set screw came out somehow. So I had to call Comet, and they're going to send me a new one. Hopefully, that's the only thing that's wrong with it. Other than that, like I said, nothing else going on. I will turn it back to you. This is KF8DGD. I'll be clear.
All right, very good, Bill. Yeah, that's unfortunately not an uncommon thing. Some of us use a little bit of Loctite in there, just to dab on the threads and tune it first, mark where it should be, and then pull the screw out, put a dab of Loctite on there, and tighten it back down, and that'll probably keep it there till you need to move it. Very good, Bill. Appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you, and I hope you can make our picnic coming up here in a couple of weeks. W03X, John, go ahead.
W8VPV, this is W03X. Good evening to you, Frank, and all on the net. Let's see, the Aries net was canceled. Both the 7, starting at 7, and the voice net at 7:30 due to the weather. So that's what went on here, and the temperature dropped considerably. Since then, it dropped, maybe, let's see, 18 degrees. So that's, I guess that's a good thing. So that scratchiness on your signal, it seems like it's right at the beginning when you start to talk, and then as you go for a while, then it goes away. So maybe the problem is the microphone there. With that, this is W8VPV, back to the net.
Well, I can swap microphones. I have another one of the same type here, but I suspect it's my antenna. And I just need to get out there and get some time on there, and just have not had a chance to yet. But I will have to get it done this summer. I don't want to be messing around with it this winter then. But thanks, John. Appreciate the info, and when I do start working on it, I will give you a shout and ask you to help me monitor it and see if I've got it under control. Let's see, KF8, I think it was FPB. Dan, go ahead, sir.
It's KF8, Echo Papa Bravo. This is Dan in Cuyahoga Falls. Thanks for listening to me. I'm a new ham. I just got my general a couple of weeks ago. Just got a Yaesu FT710. Been making some DX contacts. My first one was in Curacao in the Caribbean. Been running some digital modes, FT8, making some contacts. Looking for a VHF, UHF radio. I need something a little more power. I was trying earlier to make a contact off the space station. I just don't think I got enough power to get there. But that's all I got, and thanks. This is KF8 EPB Dan. Back to net.
Very good, Dan. Congratulations on that general. That really opens up a huge amount of spectrum. I just bought an FT710 myself, and that is just a formidable radio. I'm still getting used to it and trying to figure out what all the bells and whistles are. It's a remarkable device. We had a couple out at field day this year, so congratulations there, and don't be a stranger. There's someone here doing this net every Monday evening, starting at 8:30 right after Newsline, and we'd love to hear you in there. And if you can make our picnic this year, that would be great also then. So very good, appreciate it. Let's see, Leo was in and out, so I'm at the bottom of the page here. This is W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, looking for some check-ins. Please check in now.
KF8, ABD, Tony, Merriman Valley.
KF8, I should know your call by now, Tony. What was the suffix again?
Alpha Victor Delta, and I'm in and out tonight.
All right, thanks, Tony. Thanks for stopping by. Looking for another check-in. One at a time now. This might be a light net tonight. I think a lot of people had their antennas down because of the storm. There was a lot of lightning in there earlier. So W8VPV looking for check-ins. We'll take you one at a time. Okay, let me go back, go through the announcement once more, and put one last call out for check-ins. And if we don't have any, we're done for the evening. Sounds more like a Monday night during Monday night football game, but I think the lightning does discourage a lot of people. Okay, coming up, let me pause for time here. Coming up, Wednesday, August 13th, instead of our normal meeting at the church, we'll be doing our annual club picnic, starting about 4 p.m. at Waterworks Park at the Kelsey Creek Shelter. We'll be doing the annual club picnic. All club members are invited. There's no cost for this. We'll be providing food, main course, including pulled pork, chicken, corn on the cob, and we ask that each member bring some kind of a side dish, your favorite side dish. There is a place to sign up on our net, cfarc.org, cfarc.org. We appreciate you sign up so we make sure we get enough food and pop here. Also, if you have a preference for pop, let us know what you're going to bring so we don't get 1,500 bags of potato chips and nothing else. We sure would appreciate it. We'll also probably have some radio equipment out there and some chance to play with it and demonstrate it. And we have access to the shelter all day, so somebody may be out there a little bit early to set up and play with radio, perhaps as early as 3 o'clock or so. So hope you can make it then. Okay, that's the only real announcement. We will do something at the clubhouse the fourth Wednesday, that's August. Maybe even we'll have the windows in and we can put an air conditioner in and start cooling it down up there. And by the way, for those of you who have been there, we do have air conditioning on the first floor now, and it is helping cool even the second floor. Let me pause for time. So this is W8VPV looking for any more check-ins. One last try, W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, looking for check-ins. All right, I guess that wraps it up. This has been W8VPV, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club, our Monday night VHF UHF net. I just want to say, in preparing to close this net, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been Frank, W8ECT, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. I will now close the net with 10 check-ins, myself included. Very light net tonight, but not a surprise with the storm coming through. And we'll return these repeaters to normal and customary radio amateur use. Again, a reminder, we'll be holding an 80-meter net somewhere around 3.827 megahertz. At one point or another, I'll have to listen around and see where I can find a clear spot. But if you have the equipment and the privileges and the antenna, we'd sure appreciate you joining us. That'll be at 9:30, and again, the exact frequency will be announced on this repeater just before then. So at this point, this is W8VPV. We'll be closing the net at 8:51 p.m. local time. 73, everyone.